just a second before death. I see nothing left, all the stress in my life, it's a mess, and I'm
Hey, what's up guys? How is everybody doing today? I am up super early this morning. I have a doctor's appointment I gotta get to for my eye. I don't even know if you guys can see if I move towards the light, but I've noticed that when I'm editing, my eye swelled up like crazy last week and it actually hurt for a minute. The swelling ended up going back down. I was rinsing my eye with salt water, as I mentioned to you guys before, and it took the swelling down, but I still feel like there's like something in the corner of my eye, under my eyelid right here. And I'm sure it's nothing. People keep telling me it's a sty, this and that. Since I've never experienced anything like that, I'm gonna get my ass over to the doctor, make sure that she gives me some kind of something. I don't know if it's gonna be a Z-Pack, amoxicillin, some drops for the eye, whatever. I wanna get that dealt with so I don't have to worry about it further. So my eyes, I don't feel like going blind ever for any weird reason, so I'm gonna get this checked out today. I'll bring you guys along, let's check it out. Came back to the doctor and she's telling me how she watched the videos for a little bit.
Don't put me on that.
And don't put you on. That's what she said last time. She said, don't show me, and then you can record. Look at this thing. We got this little wireless. Where are we at? This little wireless
unit. We are at 88 pulse, 98 pulse ox.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Cool. I was like knowing I'm healthy. Look, you're not in there. I'm just getting the blood pressure.
50 is a scary thing.
The number you mean? Mm-hmm. Well, you don't look 50 if it makes you feel
Thank
better.
you. You're a sweetheart for saying that. Beautiful.
What's beautiful?
101 over 80.
What?
101 over 80.
101 over 80. So no hypertension? That's awesome. See that, guys?
Awesome.
I like when they tell me good things before they tell me something's wrong later, you know?
So eye infection?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Alright, so the eye's probably just a sty, so we're in good shape. She's laughing, and whatever, dude. I'd rather be safe than sorry. But, if you guys can see that little bump down here, it's gotten a lot better because I keep flushing it with that salt water. But I've never had anything like that, so I didn't know what was going on. I just want to get checked out. Everything turned out great. I'm not dying, and I'm not going blind, so we're good to go. But Doc says I definitely have some kind of cyst or some kind of bacteria going on there, so she's going to hook me up with some meds just to probably please me. But I'm just excited to go get that, so not much going on. I'm going to run. I got neighbor Jeff over here. So that's neighbor Jeff right there. So Jeff's chilling today.
Look like Vin Diesel. Yeah.
But we're gonna go grab a bite to eat and just head back home here. So exciting morning, not really, but we'll do more. Just got back home to my place. I just remembered well, you know what? I've been here for a little bit because I already ate and everything, but I gotta walk back over and pick up my meds because I forgot all about picking up my medicine while I was over there getting food. But was just sitting down talking with my neighbor. It's great to meet like-minded people in this world. It's great to talk about things that might frustrate us. I just had a conversation with my buddy Jeff upstairs, and we're both talking about, it's funny because we're about a decade apart in age, but we're both going through like the same type of struggles, just at different times. And it's fun to see different perspectives, you know, different minds think about things differently. And it's good to share things sometimes because maybe you find a means to an end, or maybe that person mentions something in the conversation that you might not pick up on. I don't know. It was just, we had a great conversation. We were talking about, you know, how the world works, how business works, what people are doing these days, the transition from what used to be successful and the platform to be successful, and what is successful now, and how the platforms changed, traditions changing, things like that. Just like differences in the world and how things are moving along. But it's great to speak them out, because sometimes you think things that you're doing you might not have a lot of confidence in, and you might find that just an inspirational word from somebody else can revitalize and reboost your excitement and reboost your ambition towards working hard towards something, and vice versa. When somebody else is telling you something, they might feel like they're struggling. Sometimes maybe they need to hear an outside perspective, like, hey, this is how I see it, I think you're doing great. But it's just good to run into like-minded people, positive people that want to progress and move forward. Right now, for me, are the people that I relate to the best. I'm in a position in life where I'm trying to move away from working for someone in some type of office, 9 to 5 every day, and maybe I can do something more fulfilling with my life. And I'm not saying that that's not fulfilling for somebody else. It's just not going to work for me for a lifetime. So I don't even know. I'm starting to ramble at this point. I'm really excited. The sun's probably going to go down in an hour or so here. I don't think I'm going to get the chance to really get out and do anything today. But I was just sitting down listening to some old music, and a track that I made came on. I made it back in 2006. A lot of you guys don't know, I used to be a rapper. I was never trying to be like a famous rapper or have a successful career in it, but I've been listening to hip hop my whole life. I was influenced by it at an extremely young age, and I was around some like-minded people a decade ago, and I found myself with some studio time. But I don't know, check this out, see what you guys think. I wrote this song just after my accident back in 2002, and it's just interesting to listen to now and reflect on what I said and how I feel about things now. We'll talk in a minute. Check this out, see what you think.
Woke up, fucked up, staring at the sky, body in shock, and I can't understand why it had to happen to me. Only 23, will I make it? I think as I sit and I bleed. Try to breathe, but it hurts. Thoughts in my mind have ended up in a hearse. It only took a second, thoughts going through my head, laying on the highway bleeding, seeing visions of me dead. Just a second before death, I see nothing left. All the stress in my life, it's a mess, and I'm willing to confess. Fuck life. Think I'd rather be dead than blessed. As I awake again, my thoughts are relaxed. I'm on my back and I don't know where I've been. Can't comprehend what's going on. I'm in a strange place, don't see your face. I got these needles in my arm. Nightmares, who cares? I must be dreaming. Never thought I'd wake up and really fucking see it. The end of my life before it began. Full grown, but never had the chance to be a man. So now I gotta stand tall, stand proud. Confused about this life and the cards I was dealt. I think it's time to focus on life itself. Was told I wouldn't make it, I was going to hell. But then I pulled through, there was nothing I could do. Never did what was expected since back in my youth. Truth, never thought it might happen this way. Content with leaving then, now I live another day. Just a second before death, I see nothing left. All the stress in my life, it's a mess, and I'm willing to confess. I think I'd rather be dead than blessed.
Okay, so the very, very first thing that comes to mind when I listen to that song is, damn, I can float. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, the first thing I really think about when I hear that is that chorus, that line, fuck life, I think I'd rather be dead than blessed. It's weird to listen to that now, and I'm not sure what I was feeling when I was actually writing that line down. It's not that it wasn't me, because that was an expression of my emotions after my accident. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't walk across a room. I could barely sit up in the bed I was in. I checked myself out of the hospital early, against their wishes and everything. I signed myself out. I just wanted to be home. I felt like I was okay, and I knew that I had, the hospital on dial if I needed to call the emergency or 911, whatever. But I came home, and the only thing I could do was write. So I wrote. I tried drawing. I'm not a great artist as far as getting images and drawing, but I created a lot of artistic drawings, like stuff that's like, interesting for me to look at. I'll share them with you guys sometime and explain them. But yeah, when I wrote this, I was feeling a certain way. I had the opportunity, and I had, the studio and my friends that, worked on music all the time around me. So, I knew I had the ability to get it down which I think was pretty well. I mean, that's just me and my friend playing around. I got to express. I was never trying to be, you know, a famous or successful hip hop artist, but I love hip hop, and I always like writing, and I always like, I guess closet behind the doors. I always like rapping and flowing and rhyming and things like that. I don't know what to call it. I feel corny saying it, but it's definitely was a part of my life for a little bit, and it's exciting to me. It was always fun. It was a good outlet. You know, it was actually a great outlet. I liked getting my anger out. But back to it, that line right there, I don't agree with at this point when I listen to it. I'm not ashamed of it. I embrace the song for what it is and when it is. And if anybody can understand, in my early 20s, all of a sudden I was faced with, limb loss and my life changing drastically in an instant and unexpectedly at that. So, I would absolutely say that I handled it very, very well. I say I handled it great, to be honest with you, because I never let myself get angry or upset. I'm not going to lie, there was a couple hours where I sat up in that hospital after coming out of a coma that they induced me. I was like, when I realized that it was real, because coming off the drugs and stuff, not that I didn't know it was real, but I started thinking about how it was going to affect my life. And I did. I get upset, and I was like very emotional for a few hours. After those few hours, I decided, no bullshit, I decided that it was going to be a lifetime of negative and difficult. No, to be honest, the best way to explain it is I figured it would be a lifetime of struggle and anger, and take more energy to be mad and to hold a grudge and be angry about something like this that happened that I couldn't change, rather than just let it go at that point and move forward. And truthfully, that's what I did. It was a very serious situation. I should have lost my life. They didn't expect me to pull through. I was one of those people that beat the odds, and I'm very appreciative for that. So when I hear that line, I'd rather be dead than blessed, I don't agree with it at all, but I understand the frustration I felt with the transition back then. For the most part, seeing all my friends and family so distraught and upset, going through an entire process while I was in a coma and hurt, and I didn't even know what was going on really yet, and they were all going through things day after day, wondering if I'd make it. I was more like happy to tell them that I was okay and everything was going to be okay and that I could deal with this. And to this day, I still feel like that. I'm glad that this happened to me rather than somebody that couldn't deal with it mentally, and then it would have destroyed their lives. It slowed me down, but maybe I needed to be slowed down. We're only given things we can deal with in this life, and maybe that's really what it comes down to. But I got into this a little bit more than I thought I would, but I really enjoyed that song. I have a few more tracks that I think you'd enjoy, including I'm on the verse of one of Tupac's tracks that I'd love to share with you guys in the future. I'm just loving it. I'm going through all my old music right now, listening to it all. So I'm going to finish recording this. I'll edit this video a little bit. I'm excited for you guys to see it. Leave any comments below what you think. Let me know what's going on. The last person I let hear one of my songs so many months ago, he was a younger guy, and it's just funny because the first thing he said was, yeah, well, that sounds real 90s. Well, I grew up with 90s hip-hop. To me, the real hip-hop. And if you guys don't know anything about 90s hip-hop, I suggest you check a few people out. Something we could talk about another time. But stay positive. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good morning wherever you're at. I will talk to you tomorrow.